Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our September 11, 2019 Planning Board meeting.
That's what they said.
In light of today being the 18th anniversary, that's a bad word to choose, 18th year after 9/11, I thought what we'd do is have a moment of silence and then a pledge allegiance. Thank you. We could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I actually got thinking before the meeting. I'm a little embarrassed to say I probably should have been doing that all along at every meeting, so I don't think there'll be any objection. We're going to start doing that at every meeting from now on, the pledge. Kind of hard to believe that it's been 18 years. Yeah. All right, first on our agenda is we have 3 sets of minutes. The first one is from June 12th, 2019. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you please let us find out who's here? Wendy, I apologize.
No problem. Chairman John Curry.
Here.
Vicki Gannon.
Here.
Nancy Gerbino.
Here.
Gene Goldenberg.
Here.
Dennis McNamara.
Here.
Bruce Prince.
Here.
Chris Zaberto.
Thank you, Wendy. So first on our agenda is the minutes from June 12th, 2019. Any comments, corrections?
Yes, I have a comment.
Okay.
I could believe I was at that meeting and they have me as absent.
Okay. We'll make that change. Thank you.
Oh, my perfect
Do you
payroll.
have evidence of that? Do you have evidence of that?
We'll go back and look at the
I
videotape.
wrote a check on it.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes that's from June 12th, 2019 with that one correction.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is July 10th, 2019.
My birthday.
Duly noted, it was Jean's birthday.
My birthday.
Yeah.
You know it.
If there's no additions or corrections, I make a motion, we approve the minutes from July 10th, 2019.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And last, the minutes from August 14th, 2019. Okay, make a motion, we approve those minutes.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And although she's not here, another great job on these minutes. I think they're getting back to the thickness again, but they're still very good. Okay, first on our agenda is a project review for the Paramount at Somers. It's for entry renovations. It's an application to enclose an existing open entry canopy to create a large weather-tight vestibule, replace the existing concrete entry patio and planting beds with new ornamental concrete, an open walkway canopy to the vestibule drop-off area, new landscaping and site lighting. The property is located on the west side of Route 100 and it's in an R80 residential district. Good evening.
Thank you. If I put this up here?
Sure.
Over here, or?
That's fine. You can take that off and walk around if you want, whatever you want. Okay.
I'm Bob Seigert with Shop for Architects, and I'm representing the Paramount for this project. I think you gave a good summary of it. We did receive the comments, and I mean, I'll leave it up to you whether, if you want me to go over the project in more detail or respond to the comments. I mean,
I was just saying maybe a general overview for the public.
Okay.
The folks at home.
Basically, the concept here, like you said, we're adding a vestibule, which is now a canopy. So this 420 square foot vestibule is the addition to the building. And besides that, we're removing much of the concrete sidewalk and the landscaping in this little niche, if you will, this little courtyard, and replacing it with new, with the, as I said, the new vestibule. But from that, there'll be a canopy from that out, not all the way to the drive, but a substantial distance to the drive, so that there's some weather protection, some cover there. and replacing that with some stamped concrete, walkways, pavers, and landscaping in this courtyard area. So that's the essence of it. It's a 58-acre parcel, and we're not necessarily in the center of that, but we are well back from the street on that, as I think the drawings show.
Can you
How
tell
many
me how many feet back from Route 100 you are?
From which?
Route 100, how many feet back from Route
I believe
100?
it was 500 feet.
Fine.
What is the net square foot increase in impervious surface?
In the impervious surface, the net increase was 298 square feet. We have, yeah, that was, the current impervious area is 4.85% of the site, and we will be at 4.86% when we get done with this.
Right.
So it's not a lot.
Okay.
With a 58-acre site,
Yeah, I just wanted to know whether we're talking hundreds of thousands.
you know, this is a pretty small impact on the site.
Your original courtyard, that's exterior, right?
That's correct.
And the, you have the interior, you have that courtyard is not covered, and the current walkway is not covered, right?
That's correct. But right now, what you have is, you have a covered area here. This is what's gonna become the vestibule.
Right.
So that's covered across there, but none of the rest of it is. It's all open air.
What about the courtyard? Is that gonna stay open, or,
This right here? Yes, yeah, that stays open.
so it's like an atrium?
That's correct. That's correct. We replaced, there's nice paver walkway through here, and then new plantings all the way around.
All right.
Not unlike what we've done out here, where you have the covered walkway, but then you have patio and seating areas out to the side. That was important for them to create some nicer seating areas, but then screened from the building by plantings.
Any other board member comments? We have two memos, one from Woodard and Curran and one from our town planner, Surratt. You want to?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
just highlight some of these things. I know that I was called by the architects to see if they should submit prior to this meeting. I suggested that we don't normally do that,
Right.
but they may want to discuss, what some of the changes that they've already made. Basically, just some identifiable things. Obviously, the board is going to have to declare itself lead agency on this. There are a couple of things in terms of the area of activity and putting on a disturbance line. There are two kind of strange notes on the construction impacts that I needed them to explain, and I'll leave it to them if you want to go
Right.
through those.
I am prepared to respond to all those, and
Right.
I know that we will respond in writing afterwards. But
Right, and trees I wanted them to respond to. And then the lighting, I just wanted this known because I know that there's been issues in the rear of the building related to lighting and residents in that area. But based on the analysis of where this is and their light spill diagram, it does not appear that there should be any impact whatsoever on the residents along Plum Road. So I just wanted that made clear.
What's being done here will not impact Plum Brook Road. Is that what you're saying?
Not the lighting. Okay, so why don't you go
Sure,
over some of those
I'll go
things?
through. So, the first note was about adding a zoning bulk table, so we've done that. We've added that to the A1.1 sheet, and it seemed as good a place as any to put that. There was, the second item was about the 420 square foot of new building, that should be verified, and that's exactly what it is. It's 420 square feet addition. It's under that existing canopy roof. and we've documented that on here. Okay, so we're showing, again, the existing building is 115,000 square feet. The building after the addition will be 115,420 square feet, which is an increase of 0.4%. So, well, we've got that documented on here now. There's also a note about the impervious surface, so we've documented that on here. Which, as I said before, we're going, it's an additional 298 square feet, which is an increase of 0.01%. So, and again, we've got the default table, and we've got a series of notes below that to try to explain things, because just so you can see the map. The area of site activity, that was shown as 1,880 square feet. That, as I went back through this and looked, I think that what that represented was I'll say the building area, the building and the canopy area. The entire area, if you do all of this area that we're doing landscaping, canopy, building, and lighting, so we took a trench across here and here, because that'll be disturbed. That totals 3,800 square feet. So that's, I'm not sure, my partner filled out the form originally, so I'm not sure if he was, when he read that, he was thinking about just building and canopy or what, but the entire disturbance is 3,800 square feet, and that includes everything that we have for lighting, which is, I mean, it's a trench, but you know, we figured 3 foot wide across there and across there.
Okay, so the lighting changes.
No, the lighting hasn't changed, it's just they have now identified the square footage of disturbance where they have to dig trenches in order to place the lighting, am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
That's correct. So
The lighting plan is the same, Nancy.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's just the area of site disturbance. What was put down originally was not correct. I mean,
Okay,
if
okay.
you want to, you know,
Okay.
if you're including the lighting and all the landscaping along with everything else.
Okay.
So that's, I don't know if my partner didn't understand that or what, but that is the total area of site disturbance will be 3,800 square feet.
Okay, and this is all something you're gonna resubmit to us?
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct. Yep.
So that I know that I understand, I have the material on a CD,
Yes.
but using your language so that I know that I'm getting it right. You are doing 420 square feet of new building
Yes. Yep.
under an existing canopy,
Correct.
and you're an architect.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Does that mean that you are altering overall how it looks architecturally?
Yes. Well, I mean, not so much with the vestibule, but with the canopy that comes out here. I mean, this will have a markedly different appearance. Not the building itself. The building really isn't going to change much, but this canopy in here, the entry vestibule is almost all glass, from what you see from the street. So that isn't going to look a whole lot different. But what will look different is that canopy and the landscaping out here.
Okay.
How are you roofing the new vestibule?
The new vestibule, we're re-roofing that with a new insulated roof.
Is it pitched? Is it flat? Is it slanted?
It's basically flat. It does pitch each way.
It pitches each.
Well, it pitches into the courtyard in here, where there's an existing catch basin.
Right.
And out to here. Okay, so it's pitching both ways. But, I mean, you know, a lot of people think of this as a flat roof. There is a little bit of
Yeah,
pitch to
no, I
it,
get it.
quarter inch per foot.
It appears to be flat.
Yes,
But
yeah,
it's-
exactly.
but it's-
You'll never be able to see this unless you can get up on a step ladder or something and see the actual slope to it.
But it's going to drain into, whatever comes off the roof is going to drain into a new gutter and a
Well-
leader, or how are you going to how are you gonna catch that water?
No, that comes off into the courtyard here, where there's an existing catch basin that will take that water.
Well, in one direction, and then the other direction, where does it go?
That goes out to the planting area out here.
You have whatever that dimension is, 20 feet?
Yep, yep.
All right, you have 20 feet, but you don't have a 20-foot catch basin. So I'm saying,
It's
what,
400 square feet.
you have a catch basin.
Right.
But there's
Right.
going to be, is there something on the roof that's going to direct it to the catch basin? Or is it just going to go into the landscape
No, it's going
courtyard?
into the landscape area, which is then graded so that it goes to the catch basin.
All right, that's what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
And the same, and what about out in the front?
This side, they don't show a catch basin over here. I'll have to look at that, but it doesn't show a catch basin on this side.
Would think it would need something so that the people coming in to visit are not gonna be, any more susceptible to ice and refreezing of liquid as it comes off the surface than it is now. It should be an improvement.
No, it's good, there's gonna be a canopy.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, how, I don't know, maybe I missed it in the drawing. Is there some drawing that shows where the canopy hits the new vestibule? I mean, that's what I'm confused
Oh,
with.
okay, well, it adjoins the vestibule at this point right here, right up against the vestibule here.
Well, I guess that's what my point is. Once the water hits the ground, where does it go? It can
Right.
still run underneath the canopy if it's not
No,
infiltrating.
they need a
Yeah.
catch basin,
On that
obviously.
side, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah, so perhaps we need catch basins out here. I'll have to look into that.
But you also have to do something with is the canopy a flat canopy, did I see?
It's pitched both directions. In other words, there's, again, very much like this one, there is a ridge through the center of this, and it pitches both directions slightly.
Right, so the water coming off that, coughing off that vestibule is gonna go onto the canopy, and it's gonna go, as Vicky's talking, it's gonna go to the left in a
Right.
catch basin, and then it's also gonna go to the right, and what's over in the right? The planting?
Yeah, it's plantings.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll look at that for our resubmittal, and we'll look at what.
Yeah, we just need a
If
little,
they've
I
got
think,
additional, I'm not sure if there's additional,
we just need a little more
additional
detail
catch
on
basins.
that.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of resubmission and in terms of us declaring ourselves
Uh-huh.
our due diligence, it is a commercial site, and we have an ordinance that requires us to have you go before our architectural review board.
Okay.
So when you resubmit, it would have to go to them. I believe, normally it goes to them before it comes to us, doesn't it? Surratt?
I'll check with Denise.
Yeah. One of our problems is that you're an old commercial site, you're 60 years old, and you didn't come in through our normal code, which we're all very comfortable with. You came in under a special exception use permit with many, many changes over the years.
Okay.
And a little difficult for us not to have a book to go to.
Okay.
And our rules have changed. And one of the rule changes is a commercial site with architectural changes is reviewed by the Architectural Review Board before we look at it.
Okay. So, will you let us know then when
Yeah,
that's?
I'll
if
check
that's
it out
the-
tomorrow.
The next place we have to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather know,
Yeah.
what the procedure is. If we go there first and then come back
Yeah.
to planning board, that's fine, as long as we know.
And just for there's no steep slopes involved here,
No.
right,
No.
at all?
No.
No.
'Cause
And it
Joe's-
doesn't need a
Joe's
SWIP either.
Joe's memo has a thing about chapter 148 steep slope protection in it. I think it's just some cut and paste typo on, the first bullet point on page 2. And I think the last bullet point on page 1 is also something that's left over from something else.
Yes, the proposed project does not result in disturbance of steep slopes or wetlands. or wetland buffer areas, so it doesn't even need a SWIP, and it's less than 5,000 square feet. Isn't that what you got out of Joe's memo, Wood and Curran's memo? Okay.
Yes, yeah, that's the way I read it.
I mean, actually, there's really not much to his memo,
I know. But I think there's some other,
which is good news for you,
I think
obviously.
there's some material in here that's not germane to this application.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first paragraph on page 2.
And last paragraph on page 1.
right.
Yeah. Any other board member comments, or Saret, do you have anything else to say?
Well, he was going to talk about these two general notes. I
Yep,
think.
yep.
Okay,
The general
I thought you
notes,
did the last one.
There's two issues there. One is about contractor employees,
Right,
and we have,
Sorry, no. Go on. Page on this page.
right now, there's a gravel area over here, and we've identified that as a staging area and parking for construction, during construction, will be over there. We will run a construction fence roughly around this area, which is larger than what we're doing, but just to keep people away from the construction area. And in terms of parking, the issue about construction parking over here, at times there are vehicles, employee vehicles parked over here, but they have plenty of parking for employees on the site. So
In the
that was,
back.
you look at these areas back down here, and they're typically not heavily used at all, so they have to shift them temporarily, but they will.
okay.
Okay, so that, there was also a question, so that's kind of two items in one. That's the construction area, construction parking,
Right.
and staging area, and employee parking. There was another issue about special inspections, and I think whoever wrote it doesn't understand open that up. Special inspections are inspections of typically soils, concrete, steel, and masonry that are required by the New York State Building Code. And that is an independent inspector who is hired either directly or indirectly by the owner. It has to be independent from the contractor. And so that note about special inspection was just saying, the owner is taking care of special inspection, because they have to do that separately from the contractor. The special inspectors cannot work for contractors in conflict of.
You gotta make sure that
Right.
the concrete,
Yeah, exactly.
It's 5,000
exactly.
pounds,
They-
not-
They're
not 1,000.
they're mandated basically to report to their results to the contractor as well as to the architect and engineers. And we normally include code enforcement as well, just so that everybody's in the loop on that. But that's what special inspections are in this. It's not environmental, it's just building code mandated inspections. As far as the temporary entrance, we're looking at a former main entrance as being the temporary entrance. It's about 200 feet from the existing main entrance temporarily during construction. It's a good distance away, so that we have parking for visitors out here, and people can come in there and stay well clear of the construction area.
Where do, when people arrive from in ambulances or from a hospital, their initial entry point other than visitors, when new patients are being brought to be admitted, particularly in an ambulance, where will they be coming?
We have most skill facilities often utilizing the same entrances for the ambulances and for the guests. We happen to have two. And as you said, the ambulance exit entrance we have right now that will be used for families, it is now used for families as well. And
Okay.
It's got two purposes now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very large, it's got a lobby behind it, plenty of space. It
just,
continued to drive from the original, the existing entrance that we're changing is in the same drive as the ambulance.
not to belabor the point about your covered canopy, but I'm looking at the drawing that I should have looked at before. And yes, your canopy drains into mostly planted areas. However, the part that goes across the center of your, where you have covered walkway and patio to the left and patio to the right, because I think the Architecture Review Board, if they're doing their work, they're gonna ask you the same question. You're draining, you're gonna be dropping water off that canopy onto that walkway. Now, it's really good that they're not gonna get wet when it rains, but they may get wet because that walkway may have water on it. My question is there a possibility that from where the canopy empties on, can it be slightly sloped so away from the walkway into the planting areas?
Well, that's what I expect there is, but I wanna look into that and make sure that that's the answer. And
That'll make your life a lot easier.
without seeing the grading,
Right.
I mean, that's the way I would do it, so it pitches away.
Right.
But whether or not we need any other, I won't say catch basins even, but area drains, which are really small, very small catch basins, we might need some of those.
Yeah, you might need a strip, drain, yeah.
So Bob, if I may,
Yeah.
just check for a second, when I spoke to Dave,
Yeah,
partner,
yeah,
he had that in mind, that when he pitches that down
Yeah.
towards the other canopy, he was gonna create an embedded gutter system almost, where it catches and it brings it off to the grassy area.
All right, well, that would be excellent.
Right, that's.
But
one of the-
you should,
So
before you go to the Architecture Review Board, so you don't have to
Yeah.
do this, I'm sure, since I used to be in the Architecture Review Board, they're gonna ask you these kind of questions.
yeah.
So
So,
have details of those gutters, have details of the gutters in your plan.
yeah, so,
I think you're really more critical is ice on the pathway than
Right,
water.
Right.
That represents a real liability.
but, yeah, that's what, you don't wanna have any moisture, which would either be water or water that turns into ice.
Right.
We want to fix broken hips, not.
You don't wanna make them. Yeah, no, if where the canopy drains onto the patio,
Yeah.
yeah, if you have a curtain, with sort of like a curtain drain, if you have a small drain, that would, I'm sure, gonna satisfy
Yeah,
the
either-
Architecture Review Board.
Right, right.
Because keep in mind, once you have a canopy up, you don't then have the sun melting whatever's freezing. Because right now, that's very sunny side of the building, and if you did get ice, the sun's gonna help you with salt to melt it. Once you put the canopy up, Mother Nature's not gonna help you in that way.
Not quite so
So-
much.
so you
although-
do
although
need
it
to
is
be-
pretty clear. It's a clear polycarbonate, so.
Okay.
It's, you won't get all the sun, you'll get some of it,
Some.
but it's still, you have to protect against ice.
You have to,
so.
Yeah, and
the drain is the perfect
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah, yeah.
And just a question, my recollection is that there is no canopy over the ambulance entrance, is that the case?
That's correct.
There's no.
There is none. Is there any consideration of putting one in? I'm just curious.
Right now, the ambulance entrance, you're able to drive in. Sorry. Mark, do you want to do this?
Right now, the ambulance entrance drive-through goes directly to the entrance of the building, whereas in this situation where the main entrance, it's very far. So the ambulance is actually able to drive up, the residents are able to drive up if they're dropping off somebody, a family member, and they're not walking from the parking lot. They're able to drive up and go directly into the building because the blacktop literally goes to the building. Yes. So that should solve that issue.
Okay, so the curb cut is that.
Well,
There, where that's asphalt in there.
Okay, so it's that close, okay.
Yes, yes, it comes right up to it.
I have more memory from the inside of the building than from the
Right.
exterior. It's a
And
while ago
there's-
that I was entering through there.
And there's an existing vestibule there.
Yes, I
And
know.
one
I
of our
know it
main-
well. I
Oh,
know it
yeah.
well, yes.
And one of our main reasons, obviously, of this canopy is because, first of all, there's no clear differentiation of where that central access point to the building is. As you know, you have that circle, so that will create that welcoming entrance. There's the entrance, and obviously, most importantly, to provide the cover necessary for that whole walkway.
I have a vivid memory of a friend of mine coming in on a stretcher in the winter with pneumonia in a snowstorm,
Right.
where you're now going to build the canopy.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But am I understanding what you're saying here? Your drawing A1 A1.1,
Yes.
if the vehicle's still gonna be, I don't know the scale, but the vehicle dropping somebody off is still gonna be, what, 10 or 15 feet from the canopy?
Yes.
Was there any thought that you might, I know it may ruin your design, but was there any thought to extend the canopy all the way to the drive, if you're gonna be dropping people off? I mean, because you're gonna take somebody, if it's raining, it may not be a big deal, but you're gonna drop somebody off, and then they're gonna walk 15 feet in the rain or the snow, and then they're gonna get onto this nice covered walkway, which is very nice, but it stops prior to, that's whatever that dimension is. I don't have it right here, but that's gotta be at least 15, 20 feet.
I don't know the exact dimensions,
It's probably 15 feet.
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean,
gives
I don't know, is that,
Well,
do you think
yeah.
that's a concern? I don't wanna redesign your
Right.
plan.
Obviously,
It's a good
When
question.
we-
What's
when
the
we-
intent? Yeah.
right, when we thought about this project, obviously, we want to think about the best interests of our family and our families and our community. If you can see also the way, the central point of the vestibule, we'll call it, how we're coming out, we felt that this would be the best point, because the way the turning circle is, you do have, I don't know if, Bob, if you have it on the plan, but you do have the two boxes on the bottom here, where they have like, I believe, Rohan, when you come out, where you have your sprinkler, the access points for the sprinkler. So it's sort of very interesting how that whole layout was. So we felt that this would be the best way to meet and greet the families.
Yeah, as
But
long
I definitely-
as
I
long
definitely- I
as
definitely-
it's not raining. I
I
mean-
mean, gives you, you're talking about, how long is this going to be?
It's
Probably 30, 40 feet.
Yeah, so it's a pretty,
No, it's a nice
yeah,
canopy.
it takes care of,
I'm just saying,
I understand you. I
yeah,
understand.
why not go all the way out to
We
the
could look into it.
roadway?
We could look into it,
No, it's an extra 15 feet. I mean, it's gotta be redesigned, obviously.
yeah,
But I'm just,
I understand you.
I'm also preparing you for stuff that the Architecture Review Board may talk about. But, that's outside of, I guess that's really outside our range of
We'll consider that.
think about it. I'm just asking. Otherwise, I think it's a very nice plan.
Oh, absolutely. You're
Yes.
you're totally going the right direction. Very
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
Very good.
There was one other issue about trees, that there are currently, I mean, most everything in here is bushes, but there are two ornamental trees, one just outside the existing canopy, and another one back in the courtyard here, that will be replaced with a number of other, obviously, trees and landscaping. So we can identify that. Is that required to?
Yeah, you're required.
For us to get an arborist to?
You're required to identify the tree you want to remove and explain why.
and they want open space people want, what's it called?
Native.
non-invasive.
Native.
Native.
Yes.
Yes.
Native species.
Okay, yeah.
No fire bushes.
Okay. We have to coordinate with them because every community has a different idea of what is invasive.
I fully understand.
It's,
Not really sure what that means either.
well, yeah, that's the problem.
No palm trees, no bamboo, right?
Right, it's safe to say no bamboo. That's safe.
Definitely no bamboo.
Any other questions?
Well, any other? We all set then? I'll make a motion that we declare ourselves lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What about a site walk? We don't really need to see the new,
No, we don't.
the
No.
new,
I don't think you need to.
I don't know if we even need a site walk. No. Perfect. Okay?
We're familiar with it.
If anybody wants, they can drive up there on their own, actually.
So we'll check and see.
You want to see when the next ARB board meeting is, yep, and then, yeah.
I'll check with
Okay.
that tomorrow.
Great,
Yeah,
thank you.
they
Thank you
usually
very
do.
much.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
See, that answered this question too. Is it not going on the plans? They answered your question. with
Yes,
this, yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, yep, thank you. And last on our agenda is a little informal discussion about, representative from Open Gate. Why don't you just introduce yourself and just give us a little idea what you're talking about, please? Proposing, I should say.
So, good evening. My name is Jay Deasing. I'm with Maury Architects. I'm working with Open Gate on a small project at their campus at 29 Warren Street. The picture on the left there is an overview of the campus. There's 5 buildings there, and we're working on the building at the very top of the page, or the north side of the campus. It's what they call the Gray House. So this is a blow-up of the Gray House, so just to give you an idea where we are. And we're going to be replacing this piece of sidewalk that's here. We're doing some other interior renovations, but what I think the concern here tonight is we're replacing this piece of sidewalk, and then we're adding a very short piece here, which is a new piece of sidewalk. And I have that depicted on this plan. So it's about 30 or 35 feet of sidewalk there that goes up alongside the existing parking lot. So that's just a standard 4-foot wide walk, and it's being built to, they have a small garbage container that is right now on the grass, so they wanted to have that set on the concrete, so it's cleaner, obviously, and easier to get to, and it also allows people to get in and out of the parking lot safer.
So it's for your parking lot?
Yes.
And does it in any way remove any parking spots?
Nope, it's just a strip of the lawn right next to the parking lot.
Why is this not administrative? Why is this not administrative?
Came to Steve, he gave it over to me, and I thought we had a short agenda tonight, and we would bring it here
Okay.
and let you look at it and determine if you think it's administrative, that's fine.
What
That's
are we
why
talking
it's
about?
informal.
Roughly 4 times 30?
So 164 square feet.
Yeah.
Yes. It's administrative.
Get out of here.
I don't know.
Right?
We may need an
Yeah.
environmental impact statement.
Yeah. Can you do a SWIP plan by next week?
It was very nice.
Thanks very much.
Wasn't Open Gate one of the first impervious surface,
You mean
that we put in
like
the
out
lower
here?
parking lot?
Yeah.
Remember we did a sidewalk back
Oh,
in the day
yes,
with Guy?
yes, yes.
Yeah, I think it might have been before this one. It was
Yes,
a very
before the
early
town.
one.
Yes, yes, it was. It's
Well,
also our first.
We have to sit
group
here
home.
at 8:35 in the pool, so.
So is that it?
That's it.
Anything else? And I want to thank ahead of time, Dennis is going to sit in for me at the next meeting. Won't be here. Our next meeting is October 16th. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
And thank you, Wendy.